Hello, and welcome to another Terraflict tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going over enchants and how to get custom enchants on the server. So the first thing you can do is type in /enchants to see all the available enchants that you can try to roll for. So currently, there's 6 different tiers of enchantments ranging from simple all the way up to heroic. Heroic costs about 50,000 experience, not to be confused with experience levels, this is just total experience. Clicking on any of these squares shows you all the available enchantments for that level, and then clicking on the specific enchantment will give you a little bit more information and kind of isolate it from all the others. It'll show you what tool it applies to, the maximum level, and a basic description. So then, if you actually want to try and roll for these enchantment books, you can do /enchanter. So the enchanter will tell you how much each book costs. Simple enchantment books only cost 400 XP, and heroic go all the way up to 50,000. That means that each time you click on this and click to get one of these books, you're going to be using 50,000 experience. Again, not levels, but just total experience. So I'll go ahead and get one. Now this doesn't give you the book, it gives you a little fire star that you can use to roll for the book. Rolling for the book just means it's a random chance of which book you would get. So for example, if I right click this, it'll tell me in chat which book I got. In this case I got Deep Bleed 2, but it could have been any of the books from the /enchants section. So when I roll a heroic book, it could be any of these or the ones on the next page here. So it's kind of a little bit of gambling, but eventually you'll get the one you want. If you keep rolling enough, it's pretty much guaranteed you'll eventually get it. So when you get a book, not only is it a random enchantment, it's also a random chance of the success and destroy rate. Now you're probably wondering, how do I get that to go up? Well, the way you would get your success rate up and your destroy rate down is by using magic dust. As I can show you over here, you do need the magic dust that corresponds with your level of enchant. So for this one, I would need heroic magic dust since it's a heroic book. Now there's a bunch of different percentages that you can get from these dust. They go as low as 1% and then go all the way up to 64%. In this case, if I wanted it to go up to 100, I need roughly 80, so I can just pick and choose between these, but I'll probably end up just taking a bunch of 9%. The way you apply these is while holding, you would left click the book, and as you can see, it went up to 28%, and it will continue to go up as I continue left clicking. You don't really want to ever apply these books to any tools or weapons unless it's at 100%, as you can see. Because what happens is the destroy rate means there's a small chance that if it's lower than 100, you can destroy the tool or armor piece that you're applying it to. Now there is one way to prevent this. Let's say you had a 50% success book, and you're willing to risk it, but you don't want to lose your tool. You're okay with losing the book, just not the whole tool. Well, the way you would do that is you would use a white scroll. A white scroll is crafted from 3 max paper, which is basically just a bunch of sugarcane smelted and combined. And what it does is you can apply it to a tool to prevent the tool from being destroyed due to a failed enchant, such as a 50% destroy rate. This is basically useful for when you're willing to risk your book or if you don't have enough dust to upgrade it, and it is pretty cheap, it's just a bunch of sugarcane, so it's definitely worth investing in. So, how do you get magic dust? You would get magic dust by taking a book that you don't really need and turning in dust. Now you do that by going to the enchanter, or doing /enchanter, and then going to the tinkerer, which is this anvil right here. Then you would give the book you don't want to the tinkerer, click accept trade and confirm, and then you get a secret dust. Secret dust can either be turned into magic dust, as I showed here, or it can be turned into a failed byproduct called mystery dust. In this case I got magic dust. However, mystery dust basically just looks like this. It's just a piece of gunpowder and it's completely useless. It can be used as gunpowder, but other than that, it has no real use. But as you can see, I got a random 7% success. So that's how you would get magic dust. So let's say you have an enchantment that you want to apply to something. In this case, I'm going to go over here and take Abiding. Abiding is a legendary enchantment that basically prevents all damage from being taken on a tool or weapon. Now in this case I already have Abiding on a lot of my tools, but I want to put it, let's say, on my axe here. The first thing I would do is I'd find some legendary magic dust. I'd get as much as I need to be able to get this up to 100. So we'll start with these two 14s. That gets us pretty close. And then 2 of those 7s. And then from there, you would take the book, and while holding it, you would left click on the tool, and there we go. Now it's applied. And it works the same way for all the different levels, even if it's a heroic, a simple, whatever enchantment it might be. So another thing to mention is, let's say you have a tool that has an enchantment that you don't want on it, or you accidentally put the wrong one. There is a way to get them off without ruining the tool, and that is using a black scroll. So if we come to /recipes over here, and then go to the book for cane recipes, we have a 15% black scroll and a 50%. Now what those percentages mean is that it's the percentage that the book will be when it's taken off your tool. So the 15% black scroll will give you a book that has a 15% success rate, and it will take that enchantment off your tool. These are crafted with 9 max paper, which, like I said, is just a bunch of sugarcane. And then the 50% black scroll is 4 of the 15%, and then a max paper, so they're definitely a good bit more expensive, but if you don't have a lot of magic dust, it's definitely worth the investment. The last scroll that's worth mentioning is the transmog scroll. It's the cheapest of all the scrolls, and that's mainly due to the fact that it's just for cosmetic purposes. It just organizes the enchantment, so if you have a tool with a lot of different enchantments on it, it just organizes them based off rarity. It's not really too useful, but if you like things looking a little nice, it's just 1 max paper, so it is pretty cheap. To review, max paper is just 3 max cane. A max cane is 9 enriched cane. There's 2 levels to that. And then the way you get enriched cane is just putting sugar cane into a smoker. In this case, it does have to be a smoker. It can't be a regular furnace. So sugar cane into smoker gives you enriched cane 1. 9 of those get you enriched cane 2. And then 9 of those max cane. And then 3 of those max paper. So like I said, it's a lot of sugarcane, but if you have a decent sugarcane farm, it shouldn't be that bad. So the final thing worth mentioning is that you can actually get custom enchantments from a normal enchantment table. It's completely random, the rarity and which enchantment you'll get. However, every time you put a tool in here and you do a level 3 enchantment, there is a chance that you can get a custom enchantment such as Detonate or Abiding or any such enchantment. The only thing I've not seen show up in the normal enchantment table is heroics. However, I have seen every other rarity. That'll be everything for this tutorial. Thank you again for watching, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments.